Hi everyone! Imagine for a moment that you are standing in front of a mirror and you don't like the way your hair looks. Would you reach out and try to brush the reflection in the glass? Of course not. You know instinctively that to change the reflection, you must change the object standing in front of it. Yet, when it comes to our finances, our careers, and our success, most of us spend our entire lives trying to brush the mirror. We try to manipulate the external world, the without, while leaving the internal world, the within, completely untouched. This is why so many people work hard but never see a permanent shift in their reality. They are ignoring the second great Hermetic Law, the Law of Correspondence. The Kabbalion states, as above, so below, as within, so without. In the modern science of Dr. Joe Dispenza, we understand this as the biological mirror. Your outer environment is a direct holographic reflection of your inner chemical and neurological state. If your internal world is conditioned to survival, stress, and not enough, the law of correspondence dictates that your external world must reflect back circumstances that validate those feelings. In this video, we are going to explore how your life is a perfect map of your subconscious mind. I will show you how to stop reacting to the reflections of your past and how to use the power of your internal state to command a new external reality. We are moving from being victims of the mirror to becoming the source of the image. It's time to align your planes of existence and master the quantum mirror. If you are ready to stop fighting with the reflection and start transforming the source, subscribe to the channel right now. We are deep into this series on the 7 Hermetic Laws, and each step is designed to help you reclaim your power. Join our community and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson in your evolution. To truly master the art of the quantum mirror, you must study the principles in depth. I've placed the links for the Kabbalion and the life-changing books by Dr. Joe Dispenza in the first pinned comment below. These are the manuals for understanding how your internal world dictates your external results. Get them today to follow along with our practice. 1. The biological mirror. As within, so without. To master the law of correspondence, you must first accept a reality that is often difficult for the ego to swallow. Your life, as it stands right now, is a perfect reflection of your internal state. The Kabbalion tells us, as within, so without. As without, so within. This isn't just a poetic phrase, it is a description of the holographic nature of reality. In a hologram, the smallest part contains the information of the whole. This means that your internal world, your thoughts, your chemical state, and your emotional frequency is the above that dictates the below of your physical circumstances. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research into the biochemistry of belief provides the scientific proof for this ancient law. He shows that when you live in a state of chronic stress, survival, and lack, your brain and body are constantly producing a specific chemical cocktail: adrenaline, cortisol, and other stress hormones. This internal chemical environment becomes the within. Because of the law of correspondence, your brain's reticular activating system, RAS, begins to filter your external environment to match that internal state. You literally cannot see opportunities for wealth or success even if they're standing right in front of you, because your internal mirror is only tuned to reflect scarcity. You are looking at the world through the lens of your past chemistry. Most people believe they are reacting to their environment. They say, "I'll feel wealthy when I have money in my bank account." But the law of correspondence says that is impossible. You are trying to change the reflection before changing the object. If the within is a state of "I don't have enough," the without must provide you with more evidence of not enough. It is a biological and universal law. To change the without, you must perform what I call a biological internalization. You must use the power of your mind, the law of mentalism we discussed in the last video, to create an internal chemical environment of abundance before the money appears.
When you cultivate the feeling of gratitude and wealth in your heart, you are changing the within. According to Dr. Joe, when you sustain an elevated emotion, you are signaling to your genes to express new proteins and create a new biological signature. You are literally installing a new mirror. Once the internal state is stabilized, the law of correspondence dictates that the external world must reorganize to match the new image. This isn't magic, it is the field responding to the coherence of the observer.
I've discovered in my own journey as a narrator and practitioner that the world is much more plastic than we think. When I stopped trying to fix my external problems and focused entirely on the coherence of my internal state, the problems didn't just get solved, they dissolved. They no longer had a correspondence in my life, so they could no longer exist in my reality. You must stop being a victim of what you see in the mirror. If you see debt, if you see a career you hate, or if you see a lack of support, do not fight those things. Those are just after images. They are the results of who you were yesterday. Instead, turn your attention inward. Focus on the above of your consciousness. The law of correspondence is your greatest diagnostic tool. If you want to know what your subconscious mind truly believes about wealth, just look at your life. Don't judge it, just read the map. Once you see the correspondence, you have the power to change the source code. You are moving from a state of being at the mercy of the mirror to being the master of the reflection. By understanding that the within creates the without, you reclaim your sovereignty. You realize that you are not a separate piece of matter struggling in a physical world. You are a conscious generator of reality. Your life is the canvas, and your internal state is the brush. To see a different masterpiece, you must first change the colors on your internal palette. In the next section, we will explore the fractal nature of this law, how the smallest patterns in your daily thoughts are creating the massive structures of your financial future. 2. Fractal reality, the holographic universe. To understand the full power of the law of correspondence, we must dive into one of the most fascinating concepts of modern physics and ancient wisdom, the fractal nature of reality. The Kabbalion tells us, as above, so below. As below, so above. This is a description of a fractal universe. A fractal is a never-ending pattern that repeats itself at different scales. If you look at the natural world, from the branching of a river to the structure of your own lungs, you see the same geometric blueprint repeating from the microscopic to the macroscopic. In your life, this means that your financial reality is not a separate, isolated department. It is a macro pattern created by the micro patterns of your daily thoughts, cellular reactions, and emotional habits. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work shows us that your life is a holographic projection. In a hologram, if you cut a small piece away, that tiny piece still contains the information of the entire whole. This is the ultimate as within, so without. Every single cell in your body is a fractal of your entire life's experience, encoded with the same frequency that dictates your external world. When we speak of as above, so below, we are talking about the relationship between the quantum field, the above, and the material world, the below. The quantum field is a field of infinite information where all possibilities exist simultaneously in a state of wave potential. Your brain, through the law of mentalism, selects a pattern from this field, but the law of correspondence is the mathematical mechanism that ensures the pattern is replicated at every level of your biology and your environment. There is no discrepancy in the law. The field only knows how to mirror the blueprint it is given. If you have a microscopic pattern of unworthiness in your morning routine, perhaps you hit the snooze button because you lack purpose, you check your phone with a spike of cortisol, or you rush through your day feeling behind time, you are setting a fractal seed. That tiny internal micro pattern must, by law, correspond to a macroscopic pattern in your career and wealth.
You cannot have a below of millions of dollars if your above is a fractal of poverty consciousness in the first 5 minutes of your day. The universe does not give you what you want, it gives you what corresponds to your smallest habitual patterns. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that our bodies are essentially large-scale resonators. Our DNA is not a fixed script, it is a vibrating antenna that responds to the frequency of our internal state. When you change a single fractal of your internal state, for example, when you move from a state of survival to a state of creation during your meditation, you are not just changing a fleeting thought, you are changing the fundamental blueprint of your entire holographic existence. You are literally informing the field that the source code has been updated. This is the secret that most people miss. You don't need to fix your whole life at once. You only need to change the source fractal. In mathematics, if you change one small variable in a fractal equation, the entire geometric structure of the pattern changes instantly. In your life, when you shift your internal correspondence, when you truly begin to feel the above of abundance in your heart as a present fact, the below of your bank account, your relationships, and your opportunities must shift to maintain the universal symmetry. The field cannot reflect something that is not present in the source.
The law of correspondence acts as a bridge between the unseen and the seen. It tells us that there is no separation between your spiritual practice and your financial results. If you are inconsistent in your internal world, your external world will correspond with inconsistent results. If you are fearful in your internal world, your environment will provide you with fractal reflections of things to be afraid of. The mirror is perfect. It never lies and it never makes a mistake. It is simply showing you the as within of your own subconscious mind. I discovered as an expert narrator that the most powerful way to use this law is through somatic alignment. Most people try to use their thinking mind to change their life, but the within is actually stored in the body. Your body is the below to your mind's above. If your mind says, I am wealthy, but your body feels, I am tight, stressed, and cold, there is no correspondence. There is a fracture in the fractal. You are sending a double signal to the field, and the field responds with a fractured reality, a life where you take 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Dr. Joe's meditations are designed to create heart and brain coherence. This coherence is the act of aligning the above, the electrical signal of the brain, with the below, the magnetic signal of the heart. When these two are in correspondence, you create a powerful electromagnetic signature that reaches into the quantum field and commands a macroscopic change. You are effectively rewriting the holographic code of your life from the inside out. You are no longer waiting for the world to change so you can feel better. You are changing the within to force the without to match. Think about the scale of the universe. The same laws that govern the rotation of a galaxy govern the rotation of an electron. The same laws that govern your internal beliefs govern your external wealth. This is the symmetry of the all. You are a microcosm of the entire universe. Therefore, all the wealth, power, and abundance of the universal mind are already present within you as a fractal potential. You are not searching for something outside of yourself. You are uncovering the correspondence that already exists. To manifest this, you must stop looking at your smallness and start recognizing your fractal greatness. Every time you choose a high-frequency thought, every time you sustain an elevated emotion despite your circumstances, you are changing the scaling factor of your reality. You are informing the field that the above has changed, and therefore the below is legally required to follow suit. The transition from lack to abundance is simply a shift in the degree of your internal correspondence. This is the beauty of the law of correspondence. It gives you an in into the system. You don't have to control the whole world. You only have to control the fractal source, yourself. When the source is aligned, the reflection is guaranteed. You are no longer chasing shadows in the external world. You are the light that is casting the new shadow of a wealthy and fulfilled life.
you become a master of the mirror, knowing that every change in your heart is a command for the universe to reorganize itself.
3. Breaking the feedback loop. Stop reacting to the mirror. The most technical challenge for the practitioner of the law of correspondence is overcoming what neurobiology calls associative memory. Most individuals believe they are thinking in the present, but they are actually thinking through a filtered lens of the past. This creates a vicious loop where the external environment, the mirror, acts as a trigger for a specific set of neural networks. When you look at your bank account and feel a pang of lack, you aren't just having a thought, you are initiating a cascade of neurotransmitters, specifically GABA and glutamate, that reinforce your current state of survival. This is the closed feedback loop of the law of correspondence. If the below, your physical life, triggers the above, your mental state, you are trapped in a self-perpetuating holographic prison. To break this loop, we must understand the role of the reticular activating system, RAS. This bundle of nerves at the base of your brain acts as the gatekeeper of your reality. Its job is to filter the millions of bits of information coming from the environment and only let in what is important to you. What determines what is important? Your dominant internal frequency. If your within is calibrated to the frequency of struggle, your RAS will systematically ignore opportunities, synchronicities, and wealth, even if they are right in front of you. It will only allow in information that corresponds to your internal state of lack. This is why hard work often fails. You are working within a filtered reality that has already decided you cannot succeed. Breaking the loop requires the conscious act of sensory deprivation to initiate neural pruning. In the silence of meditation, when you move into the void, you are deliberately starving the old neural circuits of their stimulus. Without the external mirror to trigger the old thoughts, the brain begins to weaken the synaptic connections of the old self. This is the process of long-term depression, LTD. The weakening of synapses based on a decrease in activity. By refusing to react to the mirror, you are legally and biologically withdrawing your energy from the old correspondence. You are effectively dematerializing your past identity to make room for the new one. This is where we must apply the Hermetic principle of polarity within the law of correspondence. Instead of fighting the reflection, you must shift your focus to the opposite pole. If the mirror shows lack, you do not try to fix the lack. You move your internal attention to the pole of abundance. This is not positive thinking. It is a signal overwrite. By using the frontal lobe, the CEO of the brain, to hold a clear intention of wealth while simultaneously signaling the body to feel the emotion of gratitude, you are creating a coherent electromagnetic signature. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when the heart and brain are coherent, the body moves out of the survival state and into the creation state. You are no longer a result of the world, you are a cause of it. The transition period, the time between the internal shift and the external manifestation, is known as the gap. This is where most people fail. Because matter is denser than thought, there is a time delay in the law of correspondence. During this delay, the astral mirror of your life will continue to show you the results of your past thoughts. If you judge your progress based on what you see, you will fall back into the loop of reactivity. You must become environment independent. You must be so convinced of your internal wealth that the external evidence of poverty feels like a dream or an illusion. This is the faith described in ancient texts, but here we understand it as sustained neurological coherence. Furthermore, we must address the epigenetic correspondence. Your cells are not fixed entities. They are protein-producing factories that respond to the chemical environment you provide. If you stay in the loop of reactivity, your cells are correspondence machines for stress, down-regulating genes for health and wealth. But when you break the loop and flood your system with the chemistry of a future already realized, you are signaling new genes in new ways. You are changing the below of your cellular biology to correspond with the above of your visionary mind. This is the true meaning of alchemy, the transformation of your biological lead into the spiritual and material gold of your future. To master this, you must practice metacognition, the ability to be the observer of the program. Every time you catch yourself reacting to the mirror of your life with the same old emotions, you must perform a pattern interrupt. You must say to yourself, "This is the old correspondence, and I no longer choose to give it life." In that moment, you're reclaiming your seat in the quantum field. You are choosing to be the architect of the reflection rather than the victim of it. You are realizing that the world does not happen to you, it happens from you. As you sustain this new internal state, a phenomenon called synaptic plasticity begins to take over. Your brain starts to wire the new image of wealth as its primary operating system. Your RAS begins to filter the environment differently. Suddenly, you start noticing opportunities that were always there, but were invisible to your scarcity brain. People, resources, and ideas begin to appear in your life. This is the law of correspondence in its active, positive phase. The mirror is starting to catch up to the new object you have become in the dark of your meditation. The mastery of the inner world is the only way to permanent change. Any change made solely in the external world through manipulation or force is temporary because it has no internal correspondence to support it. But when you change the within, the without becomes an effortless projection of your soul. You are no longer chasing wealth, you are radiating it. You have moved from a state of separation to a state of holographic oneness, where you realize that you and the wealth you seek are made of the same mental substance. You are the source code, and the mirror is finally showing the truth of who you are.
4. Aligning the planes, the integration of wealth. The final mastery of the law of correspondence is found in the seamless integration of what the Hermeticists called the three great planes of existence: the mental, the emotional, and the physical. In my own journey as a student of these laws, I discovered that most of my early failures in manifestation occurred because I was spiritually bypassing my own biology. I was trying to hold a mental image of wealth, the mental plane, while my body was still vibrating in a state of survival and scarcity, the physical plane. There was a massive gap in correspondence between my thoughts and my cells, and as we have learned, the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being in your totality. To align these planes, we must look at the role of the autonomic nervous system, ANS, and the endocrine system. Dr. Joe Dispenza often explains that the body is the servant of the mind, but through years of conditioning, the body has become the master. When you decide to manifest wealth, you are setting a new mental decree. However, your adrenal glands may be so accustomed to the high of stress and struggle that they subconsciously demand more of that chemistry. If your within is a biological addiction to stress, your without must correspond by providing stressful financial situations to feed that addiction. This is the ultimate shadow correspondence. To align the planes, I had to learn how to perform a biological anchor. This means moving beyond the visualization of money and into the physiological state of homeostasis. When you are in a state of high stress, your body is in emergency mode, and the law of correspondence dictates that your life will remain an emergency. But when you use breathwork and meditation to move into a parasympathetic state, you are signaling to your biology that it is safe to create. You are telling the below of your nervous system that the struggle is over. Only from this state of internal safety can you project a stable image of abundance that the mirror can actually reflect. I began to look at my daily life as a series of correspondence checks. I realized that the way I treated my physical environment, my desk, my home, the way I dressed, was a direct fractal of my internal state. If I wanted to correspond with the energy of $1 million business, I could not live in an environment of clutter and neglect. This isn't about buying expensive things you can't afford, it's about the frequency of order. Order in the below, your physical surroundings, invites order in the above, your mental clarity. By tidying my physical space with the intention of creating a vessel for wealth, I was using the law of correspondence to anchor my mental vision into the material plane. What I discovered when I integrated the pineal gland into this process was a game changer. Dr. Joe describes the pineal gland as a transducer that picks up frequencies from the quantum field and turns them into neurological imagery. When you activate this gland through specific breathing techniques, you are literally reaching into the above of the divine mind and pulling down the high-frequency source code of abundance. This isn't just a mental exercise, it is a neurochemical transformation. You are changing the very chemistry of your brain to match the frequency of the reality you desire. When your brain chemistry corresponds to wealth, your perception shifts, your decisions shift, and inevitably, your bank account shifts.
This is the symmetry of wealth. You must be wealthy in your thoughts, mental plane, wealthy in your gratitude, emotional plane, and wealthy in your actions and self-care, physical plane. When these three planes are in alignment, you create a coherent field of influence. You are no longer a fragmented being trying to attract something. You have become a unified force of nature. The law of correspondence no longer feels like a struggle. It feels like a natural extension of your existence. You walk into a room and opportunities find you because you are a vibrational match for success. The mirror is simply doing its job. As we prepare to move into the next video in this series, the law of vibration, it is essential that you understand that correspondence is the map, but vibration is the fuel. You now know that your life is a mirror, and you know how to stop reacting to the reflection. You have learned that to change the world outside, you must rewrite the source code inside your own nervous system. You are the architect of the fractal. You are the master of the loop. I invite you to stop looking for wealth in the without and start cultivating the sovereignty of the within. Every time you align your posture, your breath, and your thoughts with the version of you that is already successful, you are winning the war of correspondence. You are telling the universe that the future you is here, now. And as the Kybalion promises, as you are within, so shall you be without. The mirror is waiting. What will you choose to show it today? If this deep dive into the law of correspondence has shown you why your reality hasn't changed yet and how to finally fix it, make sure to subscribe. We are rebuilding your entire understanding of reality, law by law. Don't miss the next step in your evolution. Join our community of conscious creators now. Remember, the mastery of these laws requires constant study. Check the first pinned comment for the links to the Kybalion and Dr. Joe Dispenza's essential works. Having these physical anchors in your home is a powerful act of correspondence in itself. Your life is a perfect mirror. I want you to look at one area of your life today, just one, and ask yourself, what internal pattern is this reflecting? Be honest, be bold, and share your discovery in the comments. When we bring the subconscious into the light, we gain the power to change it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in video 3, where we will unlock the law of vibration and learn how to move the very atoms of your reality.